Go live. Going live. You're live. All right. What's up? Yo, let's go. And I'm on the show solo for now. I've got a guest coming in about 30, 45 minutes once he gets off work. And that guest is MePlease. He helped me out. I think the video is like 8 months old, but it was for like pre-bis and like phase one gearing, like rotations, a whole bunch of stuff for when Wrath came out for us to prep. He's played on some private servers, I believe. It's been a while since we've talked about where he got his information from, but from what I remember, I think it was some private server playing. And yeah, he switched from balance main to DK main. And I'm hoping that he's still got it in his mind, fresh, ready to go, and can help me figure out my like loot going forward into phase two. Yeah, I've put out a couple of videos on like phase two gearing discussions and stuff, and there's been a lot of talk and stuff on Discord, like the Druid Discord. And as much as I hate to say it, I think I am coming around to the 4 set instead of just 2-piece. And there's a bunch of reasons for that, but long story short, I think I'm going to be gearing more towards trying to get the 4-piece rather than the 252 pieces that would replace the 4 set. So maybe he can clarify, what he thinks is going to be good with the eye level boost. It's been so long since I've caught up with him. I'm thinking he's got some good ideas. And the jet noise is, whoo. 1 second. It's shaking the room. And the other day, I sat down with another friend of mine, Spirit Chill, but I know her in game as Coastal. When I switched to Mankrik back in like March of last year, April, I think it was April. When I switched over, like one of the first weeks, I think after I joined Mankrik, I got a whisper, and it was like, "Hey, welcome to the server. If you need any help, if you need a link to the server Discord and all this stuff, I got you." And I was like, "Yo, cool. Sick, like thanks." So like the first person that ever reached out to me on Mankrik was Coastal or Spirit Shell, and we've kept in touch ever since. And she's been doing like a ton of PTR. So there's like a 2.5 hour VOD from a couple days ago of our chat. If you were interested in going back and watching that, but hopefully I can talk to MePlease about kind of the same thing that we did, but maybe like a little bit quicker, a little faster. Since, I've already talked about it, he's already gone through it, and get his take on the fights, like what potentially we could be doing with our rotation, like what glyphs we might be using on certain fights. And yeah, his thoughts on gearing. Hopefully he's coming back to playing more boomy. I tried to look up his logs the other day, and I remembered one tune's name, but I couldn't remember the other one, so I didn't really see if he'd been keeping up on his balanced druid playing. But yeah, let me switch screens here. I've got the stuff that I've been doing from the last week. There we go. I've been playing hardcore, and last night I was streaming some duo with Mincy on this tune, and a lot of people thought that maybe my other tune had died, but no, it's still alive and well. Level 28. This is on a Wrath server, by the way. It's not like the classic era. My classic era tune did die 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, and after that one had died, I've made these 2 tunes on Wrath. So Saturday, I think it was, I was it Saturday? Dude, the days are blending together. But I was on my level 28 Alliance Druid but it was level 26, and I went out to Black Fathom Deeps, and I soloed the entire dungeon. It was pretty cool. Like having the ability to root indoors, which you don't have in Classic Era as a druid, but having that in Wrath, I love it. I'm not scared to go into caves. There's the whole meme, like, don't go into caves in Classic Era, but it doesn't bother me a bit in Wrath. And I just feel like I'm having a lot more fun on Wrath playing hardcore than I did when I was playing on Classic Era. And there's not that much of a population right now on the Wrath server for hardcore, so that's why I did BFD solo. And like 2 weeks ago, I had done the Dead Mines solo, but I ran out of time, so I prepped and I made sure that I had enough time to do the entire dungeon this time. But Dead Mines, I cleared all the way up to Cookie on the ship. So like I killed the boss down there with like the two little stealth ads. I killed him, went up to the ship, went around just to get to Cookie, down to Cookie. I got the Siamese cat, so I got like a little trophy from the dungeon. And then I had to go. I had to raid. And since you can only do dungeons once in hardcore, that was it. So now like I don't get to get the achievement, which I had forgotten that you get in Wrath. So when I soloed BRD or BFD, Black Fathom Deeps, I got the achievement for it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So now it's kind of like I want to get that achievement for the rest of the dungeons, at least as many as I can, and take a little bit more look at what other achievements I could get. But Nomergon, somebody had asked me, like, they were like, you're not really going to do Nomergon solo, are you? And that one, I only plan on going in like the main doorway that I know of to get into Nomer, and then just jumping down and killing Vicious Fallout, because there's some boots that are pretty good and should last me like until they break. So I limited myself from being able to repair my gear on this tune. So like this vest right here is a feral vest because my caster vest broke. Let me log in. I did get a couple things from the dungeon, a couple pieces of gear. I wanted to get there was like a 10 slot bag from the Murloc boss. That was going to be like my trophy from there, but that didn't end up happening. So what did I get? I got this cloak, the glowing thresher cape from old Serikis, which is like the underwater boss. I mean, it's like the further one into the instance. There's a like a dinosaur looking mob swimming underneath. So I went down there, killed that, got the cloak. These are some feral gloves from Lady Cerevis, which is kind of like at the front underwater, the Naga. And yeah, like my caster gloves broke, so I just put these on. Prospector's chest piece is the feral chest that I have, and I'm balanced, so like these are giving me some armor and some stamina, but that's about it. One of the main reasons I was in there, because I knew I could do it, was to get the belt off of the turtle boss, Gumura, I think, something like that. And then I got the legs off of Twilight Lord Kelleris, which huge piece, 12 spell power, love it. And we got the achievement. Yeah. And then I'd done all 4 quests for Black Fathom Deeps. So now I just gotta go turn all those in. I'll hit level 29. And then I might be ready to go to like Nomer. But not playing that right now. Just hanging out, chilling, waiting for MePlease to show up. And my duo tune, Go Duo, which as soon as I typed it out, it reminded me of the Pokemon. The Duo, however you want to say it. And yeah, we got to level 13 yesterday before raid. And we might be playing tonight after the show. get a couple more levels, and then we wanna tag team RFC. I mean, we have to play together. Like we have the add-on, we've linked our tunes together. So if we're ever, I don't know, like 40 yards or further apart from each other, the add-on has like a 10-minute countdown, but it's like in seconds. So it's like 590 seconds or something you have to get next to your partner again. But yeah, we plan on doing some dungeons, some duo dungeons. And he's a warrior, I'm a druid again, and I don't mind healing if I'm still kind of like throwing out some wraths and stuff too. But I think that's about it for like the hardcore stuff I've been doing the last week. Let me see. The main druids, the main server. I didn't get any loot on the main druid. Got a couple new like DPS um, thresholds on a couple bosses yesterday and Nax and stuff. Had a really good what was it? Heigen, and there was one other boss. Let me see. Let me pull it up so I don't struggle here. It's back to showing not locked in. So the patchwork not locked in, but that was like 2 weeks ago, last week's. Heigen, oh, Saffron. I had a decent Saffron. It was like 250 more DPS than my previous high back from December 20th. And we were getting some pretty good speed times for the bosses, like 6 seconds faster than our previous fastest Saffron. What other bosses? Heigen. I think it was a couple seconds faster, a minute 13. So what's that, 5 seconds? Because a minute 18 was the second. Yeah, 5 seconds faster on that one. So we even had a couple new players in our raid. And it was cool that we were still like in there pumping, getting faster kill times. And yeah, no loot this week on the main tune. I still need like the leggings of the Wonton Spellcaster and the leash of Heedless Magic, and then I'll be feeling good about stepping in foot into Ulduar on the 19th. So we've got like a raid next week. Well, I mean, we've got 10 mans tomorrow, but I don't really need loot from the 10 mans. And then we've got the 25 man GDKP Saturday for my alt. So I'll have to decide, do I want to spend gold right before the next phase launches? Do I just want to go try to make some gold? Because there's only a couple pieces that I would really like to have on this tune. I'm like way over hit capped, so this offhand that you see here is the emblem offhand. I'd like to kind of get rid of that and get like a cursed spine, but I'm really not trying to pay a couple thousand gold for it at this point. So I don't know if this tune will get any more gear. This one will. If those two items drop, they're guaranteed to go to me. The Wonton and leash. So that'd be huge. But I guess what we could do, which no one's brought up yet, in our guild at least, is since the phase is gonna launch, I guess the gear's already gonna like switch. So Tuesday, hey, what's up, man? Tuesday it should switch to dropping extra loot and Nax, I, and Obsidian Sanctum, I think. And the 10 man loot, or the 10 man Nax should drop the 25 man loot. So I might have a couple chances to get my legs and stuff on this tune. Yeah, that's kind of my thinking for phase 2 is get the crafted belt. So that's another reason I don't really want to like spend gold in the GDKP this weekend. I want to have the crafted belt and boots, and I might just try to spend the gold and get those week 1. Like tip whatever guild, unless we happen to get it, tip whoever gets the pattern. Like, grats for getting it that early, and get the belt and boots and just chill on those two slots. So, like, since I'm in a loot list guild, I wouldn't really put those two slots up high on my list because I'd be fine with the belt and the boots, just getting the crafted ones. And then, like, lower on my list, I might put like the best in slot, like 252 eye level belt and boots down further below on my list. But yeah, like, who knows how much the orbs are going to go for. Like, needing 6 for the belt, 6 for the boots, 12 orbs. They're a couple thousand gold each. I'm gonna get pretty poor pretty quick. Maybe I wait for like week 2. I'm gonna have to gauge it out. If I end up getting like a piece the first week, a piece or 2 pieces the first week, then I might be like, all right, I can chill a little bit, not try to rush. But if I don't get any loot that first week, I'm gonna be itching for some loot, so I might spend that gold and get those 2 pieces crafted. I have another alt I've been leveling up. So this alt was my my farming tune. I've had tailoring engineering on the main. I'm gonna keep that. I'm not switching to jewel crafting. I get asked every other day or so, like, if I'm gonna keep tailoring or go jewel crafting. So I'm keeping tailoring. And my alt was a minor herbalist, and I dropped herbalism and leveled up engineering within like 3 days. I went out and I farmed all the stuff since I'm a miner, farmed all the mats, crafted everything all the way up to like 410 or something. And I got my nitro boost on here and the hyper speed for the gloves. So this tune is ready for Ulduar. I didn't want to go into Ulduar on it, even if it's a GDKP without engineering. Cape of Unworthy Wizard last. Yeah, like, I put that cloak up high, and I put like Pennant Cloak low, and I think we got our first Pennant Cloak on Tuesday. Finally, there were 17 people in line for Pennant Cloak in our guild, and we finally got one to drop last night. So I'm glad I didn't put Pennant Cloak like high on my prio, because I'd still be with the crafted cloak at this point. I think the Death Chill cloak. I haven't said that in a while. Yeah, we're gonna be hopefully getting the 10 man in there. If not both raids on Tuesday, maybe like the 25 Tuesday, then 10-man Wednesday. So that it might have to be a shorter, or like a timed show next week. Let me see if this is him. MePlease. Okay. That. Cool. He might be ready here pretty soon. Hell yeah. Like, I even want to do 10-man Ulduar before we step foot into 25 Ulduar that Thursday. I might have to try to like take a couple hours of leave so I can get home in time to raid. I don't know. I get off at like 6 on Thursdays, and that's probably when they drop. So we'll probably be wanting to run the 10-mans right at 6. So by 9, we can get our 25-man. Yeah, like, this tune got the engineering up, so now I need an herbalist. So I've been leveling my Season of Mastery druid up to try to get to at least like 70 so that I can farm some Lich Bloom. But with 5 days left of Joyous Journeys, I want to try to get as far into like between 70 and 80 as I can. But it's just a matter of how much time do I have to try to level this tune up there. Okay. All right, let me get MePlease in here. I got to mess around with OBS real quick, and we'll get the actual show on the road. Let me Let me figure this out real quick. Bear with me. This is the first time I've had to like start off solo and then like add somebody to the call, so I'll be right back. Maybe you can still hear me, just not see me? You probably should be able to. Okay. Get him in here. Start a video call. Wow. This might be looking really weird on there. Oh yeah, it does. Nope, that one. No, this one. This one. Pod. Duo cam. I think I just want this, but I'm just gonna have to like edit the shit. Yo. Yo. Mm-mm-mm. User settings. Voice.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Doing
Not much.
doing good, dude. I just kind of got off work too, like an hour and 20 minutes ago. So, Oh. I just got to set up the scene real quick, get the vibe going, you know. Ah, there we go.
I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
So a healer in our guild is an officer in another guild. They need some people, and I'm actually gonna get to play my boomkin.
Have you not played it at all in phase one?
I'm besides the 226 items.
Uh-huh.
So I've got like my gear is decent, right? I just don't have any 226s.
Yeah. I've got some decent gear on mine.
Yeah, so I've got like 5 pieces of tier. The Tin Man mace with like a curse bind offhand.
Mm-hmm.
Dying curse. I have the Tin Man Mally neck. I still haven't been able to get foot pads in Malagos. I've been running it every week since the first week. Still haven't got my foot pads.
I have them. I don't even know if I've been using them.
They're so good. It's such a big haste crit item. Just if you need something.
Yeah. So yeah, let me introduce you real quick. I already did, but since you're here, I gotta redo it. You know.
Oh yeah.
So this is the legendary MePlease, the boomkin extraordinaire that helped me and everyone else with getting our pre-raid gear and phase 1 gear ready for Wrath. And we didn't talk too much about what we were going to talk about today, but I was hoping you could give some advice on some gearing for phase 2, like some items that are going to be really contested and stuff, like we had talked about for phase 1. Maybe like a top couple pieces that maybe we should prio and try to get first. Have you been looking at like the eye level changes and stuff?
Yeah, I've been looking at everything. The eye level changes kind of huge. It literally made like if you didn't get items from phase 1, there should be no like FOMO of that, right? Because Tin Man Ulduar literally is just one eye level behind any of the 226s that you would have been missing out, and there's so many drops in Tin Man
Yeah,
to help you.
Tin Man loot looks insane.
Yeah. I think it's good. It gives everybody something. So like if you're only a Tin Man guild, like you can still make a Tin Man bis set that's really good, you know? So it's like obviously it's still like what is it? 30 item level behind the hard mode loot, but I think people need to understand that there's only one piece of hard mode loot per boss, and some
Yeah.
of the hard modes are really hard. So unless you're just the demo lock, good luck at like getting some pieces, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I started last night trying to make like a realistic set to go after, and
oh yeah.
There weren't too many 252 pieces I was really trying to go after.
No, there's like only one. Like if I could pick one 250, let's say two, because obviously
Yeah.
there's a weapon. But
Yeah.
if there's one item I could take that is a 252, what would yours be? I know what mine would be. So
Let me pull it up real quick. Let me take a guess. Just let me know if it's right for yours. Would you say the gloves?
no,
Okay.
Flare of the Heavens.
Flare. Well, Flare's not 252 though, is it?
Oh yeah, it is 252. It's off of hard mode General Visex.
Oh, real? I'm still learning the eye levels of all the loot.
And I think the spell power is
Flare.
it's like 1,000 or something.
Yeah, the
Proc.
proc. Yeah.
So good. It's like 120 something crit with 1,000 spell power proc. Whew.
Yeah.
Strong.
What would I pick? I might have to go for like the weapon. Just like a snap, like judgment, like right now, like give me the weapon.
True.
Give me Soul Scribe.
Well, there was no weapons for us here,
Or
so
not Soul Scribe. Star Shards.
Star Shard?
Yeah, give me Star Shard.
I'd be honest to God, I'd be happy with any of the weapons. Right? They're all good. Even the Tin Man one is really good. Aswega from Tin Man, Vizex,
Yeah.
but then Staff of Endless Winter, even Conscious. I get that it has MP5 on it, but it has a socket and it's 252. It's a lot of spell power and crit.
Yep.
I mean, I would be happy with any weapon. There's just no good weapons really for us this phase. I mean, and my guild personally, we've seen one torch. One.
We've seen, I think we've only seen one as well. And we
Yeah.
saw our first pennant cloak last night.
Oh wow.
Like
Nice.
insane.
I see. It's the struggles of like if you have alts or if you have like an alt guild run, because like our alt guild run literally got like 3 Betrayer of Humanities and 6 Turning Tides in a row. You know, it's like, oh man. And then our main run, we're like, please give us weapons.
Yeah.
We just keep getting the dagger over and over and over again.
Even Turning Tide, we had 2 Turning Tides. Like
Really?
our caster
I think
loot,
we got lucky.
it hasn't really been dropping for us.
We started just splitting people off to get the necks, and and like if a caster needed the neck and they didn't have Turning Tide, we just like put them in the alt group, and then if they dropped, just gifted it to them. So.
All right, so let me ask you about 4-piece. I think before you said you didn't really like it. Has your mind changed on that at all? With like the eye level changes and everything, like, do you think 4-piece is good?
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I think it. I think it is good since it's a playstyle of keeping N6 from up all the time. I mean, at least before back on the private servers and stuff, we weren't using N6 from like at all. But now, that's the thing, is just keeping it up 24/7. So I feel like it's still good, and there's a lot of movement in a lot of the fights. So, you can. I mean, it's a free cast. Plus, it's just uncontested gear. You know what I mean? I think it's semi-uncontested.
Yeah. Like
if it drops, I mean, it's like more deterministic than praying for a 252 piece to drop. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like that's been my shift. Like my best in slot set that I had come up with only had 2-piece, but now it's like I've got to make my actual realistic set, and I've been trying to work in like the 4-piece instead to make it like less contested loot that I'm going after.
Yeah, because in The Sims, I think like I haven't really got to play my Boomkin much in phase 1. Like I got it semi geared, but the 4-piece doesn't sim much lower at all, does it? Really?
No,
I didn't think
I think it was like 200 below like the best in slot for the single target and everything, the patchwork.
Yeah, which also, I mean, like if you got lucky and crit on some of those Starfires, or if you had to move like on a heavy movement fight, that 200 is definitely gapped way lower than 200 DPS loss because you're moving. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
The only thing I'm trying to like think about with using like insect swarm and stuff is people were talking about unglyphing insect swarm for certain fights, like Algalon, to help with the miss percent for tanks. So it's like, would we want like a non 4-piece for that, or like maybe just keep the 4-piece and still use Insect Swarm even though it's not going to be glyphed. Like, I'm curious what we're going to end up doing for that fight.
True.
Or
Yeah, because
is it?
there's a couple of fights like that one and maybe General that just smack.
Yeah.
And where
Like
I don't know.
maybe it's not going to be too big of an issue. Maybe the tanks will survive once they get a couple pieces of loot and stuff, and it's not going to be as big of a
Yeah.
deal as people are talking about
I
it.
don't honestly. I don't think it's gonna be a big deal at all because the only people that'll probably be doing that is like the week oneers, right? That are going for Algalon week one, and there's very few guilds like that because your tanks aren't gonna have a lot of gear. But like I think one full clear of 10 man, one full clear of 25 man, even you're gonna get like percentages increased to your raid, like huge percentages increased to your raid for just damage and like just the tankiness because I'm pretty sure I mean, a lot of the bosses are fucking smacking, so I'm pretty sure tanks are getting funneled first, from my hearing, just because how hard the bosses are hitting them. So I'm pretty sure by week 2 or week 3, which most guilds, well, I wouldn't even say most guilds. By the time most guilds get to Algalon, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Let's put it that way. I don't. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty way different than anything most classic players have seen before as an old war. Like, not everyone's gonna be there week 1, week 2. So
Yeah, it was kind of eye opening on the PTR, getting in there and seeing some of the fights. I didn't get to clear all of Old War because I've never done it all the way through. So it was a lot of personal responsibility people have been talking about. Lots of truth to that. But there's also some fights that are just like, that was really a fight. It's just like, it's such a difference.
yeah.
There's like one fight that's like super hard, and then you get to another one, and it's just like free loot. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you have Colagarn and Crazy Cat Lady, and you're like, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, and even
Or
the dragon at the
Ignis and
beginning.
Razor Skull and
Yeah,
Ignis.
Razor Scale. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good balanced raid because even the and pretty much all the fights are like that. Like besides, I guess until you get to like say Yog's mechanics, even for hard mode, they're still there in normal mode. Like the ones that most people have the problems with, like Malady, spreading out, not fearing your whole raid, getting people out of the tentacles, making sure people go into the brain room, like just those things. But then you add like the small differences of like the keepers add buffs to you, like a health increase, damage reduction, refilling your sanity, whatever. So, but the main mechanics are even normal, which is cool. So that fight's pretty mechanically different than most of us have seen. But most of them, I like how there's the option, right? You can either do it with way more mechanics, harder fight, or if you're just like a casual dad guild, okay, we can just do it normal and still get something from it. Which is, I really like that.
Yeah, I guess it makes it easier for pugs too, and stuff.
Yep.
Curious what like GDKPs are gonna do, like especially like week ones. Like, are they gonna try for the hard modes to like sell the loot?
I'm pretty sure they'll try some because I mean,
Yeah.
at the beginning, from what I've been in and all the GDKPs I've done on Benediction, well, most of the GDKPs that I ran, they're ran better than most guilds. And week 1, they vet players and you get really good players in there, and it's because everyone's a buyer at that point, right? You're not really carrying anyone, so all the gear is usable by everyone. So you just they usually vet the players, and I mean, the best runs I've done, even in TBC and in Rastifar, most of them have been non-gilded, like because you have the choice. You can pull from so many different players, right? You're not forced to take the same player over and over and over again and just deal with their mistakes. Whereas, if you make mistakes in the GDKP, they'll just kick you and not bring you back.
Yeah, it's crazy that I got immortal in the GDKP and not in the guild.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let me ask you about the first boss, Flame Leviathan. Is there anything like any special vehicle that we should be in, or any mechanic that we should actually be doing? Like, are we supposed to get tossed up to the top of the boss and DPS the vents, or like what are we supposed to do?
Personally, I think if you run double boomy, you should just send up double boomy. It's we're insane with Starfall Glyph with focus and just go up there, double dot Starfall, and blow up your ad. Like it's disgusting how much on-demand burst AoE we have. Plus, we have Bark Skin. We can heal ourselves. You know, if anything happens, I think Boomy is a really good option to bring up on top of the boss.
I just got to make sure, like, because I think I got tossed up there. Like, I don't know if Starfall was hitting the vents. That could have been a bug. So that's one I'm gonna look out for that on week 1.
Yeah, that's definitely something you
See.
should look out for. I know on P servers, Starfall would hit. So,
Yeah.
and personally, I've been for my main guild, I've been playing prop paladin. So on PTR, I didn't really get to do much boomkin. I got to just really.
Oops. Uh-oh. Hit the wrong thing. There we go. Trying to think of any other bosses I had questions on. I always have to like look at all the names. I haven't got them down yet. Wowhead. How much do you think the orbs are going to go for week 1 on Auction House?
Oh, I have no clue. It takes like 6 to make a piece, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think 60k per item is like a stretch. So I would think at least.
You're thinking like 8 to 10k per?
I think that's a stretch.
Okay.
So maybe like 5k each day
Okay.
1.
So we're looking like 30k.
30k. I mean, you see other people like our other items that were used like week 1 of the expansion, like the 200 items, and they're around that. They're like 20k, 30k, and these items are insane. Like the belt and the boots, or at least the belt is just gross. Like
Yeah.
So I would imagine. I know most guilds, like my guild at least, we're selling all the belt. We're selling all our orbs the first couple of weeks, just getting money for consumables for the guild for the rest of the phase. So,
yeah, we're having the option for people to put the orbs for a piece on their loot list. So,
that's cool.
If they put it on there, they get the first, like whoever's got the highest, they'll get the first 6 orbs, and then it'll just go down. But I plan on buying mine. So if it ends up being 6 or 5k per, I'm only gonna have gold for 1 piece instead of getting both. Like for the first week, that is,
What boots do you have? So
they're, I don't know. I'm kind of like stuck with them because they have spirit and crit. Let me see what the name is, because I do have the Mali boots. I don't like the haste. Boots of septic wounds. The BOE ones. BOE leather ones.
Oh, yeah.
I love those. And then I still have the plush sass of Guzba. The emblem belt. So I think I would pick the belt first.
Oh, yeah.
Get that thing crafted.
I have Century of Polarity. That's one I got on my Boomy. I got that. I just took that. I didn't want to take Leash with Heedless Magic. Yeah. Because when I have all the tanks geared for my guild. Like I'm pretty much BIS on all my tank specs. So I have a BIS Bear set. I have a BIS DK, BIS Pally, like one item from BIS Warrior, and just to if we needed something else or something was good for something, I'll switch. But Boomy was my off spec. Obviously, I didn't want to play Cat DPS as my off spec, so I just I have a semi decent Boomy set. It saddens me. I only got like a 98.7 overall in this phase so far.
So low. That's on the Boomy?
Yeah. Yeah, I have 0-226s and I haven't really got to actually play Boomy that much. And plus I raid lead at the same time, so it's kinda.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Was it? So XT has the ads that come in. Is it usually the Boomy that goes out there and takes care of like the ads? Like, because we run double Boomy, so should we have one Boomy on each side taking care of those, or is there like a better class to do that?
I mean, Boomy's pretty good. I mean, okay. So the issue with it is like, I mean, you have Typhoon for the knockback and stuff, and then you have Hurricane, but you won't really have Starfall because You're gonna be using that to proc like Nature Grace procs and stuff for the heart when you do heart, because you need to pretty much use everything for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what we did is literally just when we were doing XT hard mode, prog or just practice, I guess, because it was unkillable at that time. But we're still practicing, trying to see if we can kill heart. We just had everyone just turn around for a second, just you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
'Cause I think I was looking.
it dies really fast, so.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in Tin Man, they didn't have that much health. They had like 12k health or something, like 12,800 or something each, I think.
Yeah.
It went down pretty quick.
But yeah, in 25 man, I think we just had everyone just turn around and just knock back and AoE it just for a second. Because I mean, if you just kill the bomb bot, it just kind of blows up everything else. So.
Yeah. So speaking of knocking mobs back, let's talk about Freya.
Yep.
What percentage would you say is the best time to knock the lashers back? Because I think we tried like 10%, and we had 2
That's
boomies
low.
for that. You think that's low? Because like they didn't die. Like we knocked them back, and they twice, and they still like came back and like blew us up.
Yeah, but I think I was watching when you were talking to Spirit about that, but like they weren't actually getting slowed or something, right?
Yeah,
Like they were bugged or something.
it was weird. Like I think sometimes they might have got slowed depending on what wave they came out on, and other times, yeah, like we'd knock them back and they just rush back in.
Well, what I would say is literally get out no later than it all depends. I don't know how much HP they have, and I haven't really done it on a boomy yet. But I know what we just did on P servers is everybody stack. I'll add spawn, like then um we'll get like a Nova at like we usually Nova them at like 10%. We all stepped back like together. Then we kept AoEing, and then when Nova broke, we just like chain knockbacks and then and killed them. We'd also have drop like a frost trap underneath too. So
Yeah.
but everybody would just move as a group, like move out, just kind of stack, so they all come to us and then knock, and then they would die. You could also, I mean, it sucks for one boomy, but I mean, for prog during hard mode, you could have like your boomies actually just save Starfall until that period of time, till
Yeah.
like 10%,
That's what I
and then
did.
pop your
Yep.
Starfalls.
Mm-hmm.
So then that should take care of it. But yeah, that's the sketchiest part, right? Those ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything
And then
else we got down pretty good.
also, but the feels bad about saving it, right? Is I think the ads come out like ad Starfall's coming off cooldown, like each set. So it's like you can kind of get Starfall for each set of ads if you use it like when they spawn.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think that's just safe for like say the first couple weeks you work on it, because I'm pretty sure realistically she's one of the ones that people probably going to go for first. I know my guild, I think we're going for like at least 4. We spent most of our time teaching, because I'm not in like a super hardcore guild or anything. We're just teaching people vehicle combat. So that's what we did
Oh
most of
yeah.
our PTR time on, teaching people how to do vehicles. So we got it to where we can kill Flame Leviathan on hard mode at least week 1. So we're gonna aim for that one. We could kill the heart, and then they nerfed his HP, so we're aiming for maybe XT. Will depend on how much his HP got nerfed. But then throw him in Freya. So at least 4 hard mode.
Yeah, we did Freya hard mode on 10 man, so if it's similar to that in 25, it didn't seem too bad. We
In
made
my opinion, it's harder on 10 man.
Okay, cool. That works. I like that room too, just because there was actually trash in there to like AoE down and stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, there's another boss. Was it Vezex that has like the black, like,
Puddles?
yeah, the black puddles on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a haste buff, and it's like 100% haste or something. And I've been getting asked, like, are we supposed to just forget eclipses and just spam Starfire? Yeah.
That's what I did. I mean, at lower gear levels, I don't know how it's really gonna feel. I mean, literally the haste is wasted while wrathing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know keeping up your dots is terrible. You're gonna go especially if you're working on hard mode. So on hard mode, like literally, we would just double stack the the puddles and just I would just spam Starfire. Same thing with like Shadow Priest. They would just spam like Mind Flays. Just because it's so mana intensive. And our dots cost a lot of mana.
Yeah, you can
But
cuss.
like on that fight and on Hodir, there's parts where if you're in the beam and stuff, like you can just like legit forget your rotation and just spam Starfire. Obviously, the more crit and the more gear you have, the better that works out because it's kind of a feels bad when you don't crit. But
Yeah, so one of my plans was at least for like the first couple weeks is having like putting the points back into Moonglow that I took out, and then like, do you think we'll have to keep those points in Moonglow like for Vesex for a lot longer because it's like the mana intensive fight, like because you're not getting the mana back or whatever?
no, it just depends. It's probably like I said, like the first couple of week things.
Okay.
Which also is I've never done these fights with the item level increases that we're gonna have. That also
Yeah.
means we're gonna have more mana, right? A lot more mana because we're gonna have way more intellect, which means we're gonna have more crit, free crit, a lot of other things. But the big thing is the bigger mana pool is gonna help with a lot of these fights. And
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, right now we just don't have mana issues at all anyway. But um,
Thanks.
yeah, I think it's just spamming Starfire. I mean, obviously, I might get crucified for saying that, but I haven't done that. I haven't done it in a long time. I know that's what I used to do, just because uh, if I tried keeping up dots, you would just go I've tried doing the Eclipse thing, but I don't know, that was it feels bad. And it is pretty cool when you have like 1 second Starfire casts or really
Yeah.
fast Starfire casts and they're like later on when you go back in there and you're doing it or when you're geared and you're getting like 60k crits and you just bam 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 just big crits. It feels so good. And your screen starts flashing because you're about to pull thread and you don't care and you keep smashing your Starfire button.
Hell yeah. All right. Any other bosses you'd like to touch on that you have some advice on? I kind of like
Um
skipped around there, but those are the main ones I had questions on.
Another one is like Yogg. In my personal opinion, I think Boomy is insane for the brain room. We have Starfall. The way the ads work though is when you hit them, you take damage, so it's really scary. So if you are a Boomy and you're going down in the brain room, you let your melee tag all the mobs because your Starfall won't hit them unless they're tagged because they're like a mirage and then they turn into a tentacle. But I would definitely rejuve and regrowth yourself, and then Bark's gonna pop Starfall, and you literally will melt every single mob if you get certain ones like Stormwind, or if you get the Ice Crown one, or the Ice Crown and Stormwind are like the really good ones. And if you get those are the ones you normally just push the brain super fast. But on those ones, Boomies, they straight destroy that. Especially if you have like rocket boots. If your melee have rocket boots, they pop rocket boots in there, hit all the mobs. Boom can pop Starfall. You get so much uptime on the brain because the Boomy kind of just solos all the ads. But that's only like one of the only other boss fights I think where kind of niche on. I'm actually happy. I'm actually so happy where Boomkin is in the expansion right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone always thought of us as a support class, a shitter class, and we're actually pumping, So feels good.
Yeah, like I'm always trying to get like do top overall damage in my raid. So like this week, I barely got it. I barely beat out our DK, and I was like, yes.
That feels good.
Even on some
Yeah.
boss fights, yeah, I'm still like top of the meter on the boss fights too.
Yep. I mean, it feels super nice. We can't just get passed up on loot because we're a support class this expansion. So it definitely does feel good that we can get prioed on some loot and not feel bad for the raid. So
Now, what is gonna
uh, pers-
feel? Go ahead.
hmm? personally, I just feel like as many druids as you can fit in your raid is just good. Like double boomkin, bear tank. Some people not like bear tank, but I mean, if they looked on the PTR, a lot of guilds were running bear pally. like Noobs ran Bad Pally, Fusion ran Bear Pally for a while. I know in Algalon they ran Double Pally, but I mean, there's a lot of fights where Bear's really niche and like free innervates, battle reses, whatever. Druids are just, I don't know, Druids the best class in the game. So
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to going back to battle resing a lot more. The whole change that it resets every boss fight now, it's like, oh
true.
man. Like I know I'm
Oh,
gonna be battle resing a lot, so I'm
the
just
one thing we didn't talk
preparing.
about is the feels bad of dropping 4-piece tier 7 to get tier 8 because
Hmm.
you're losing 5% crit on both your abilities, which is gonna feel super bad. On top of the stats on the new tier gear is just trash. So
Yeah, a lot of hit
uh,
on the new tier.
and spirit everywhere. Like I guess it's more spell power, but like I'd much rather have haste or crit.
Yeah.
Definitely crit, but yeah. Oh, gearing, yikes.
Yes.
There actually, if you look into it, there's a lot of leather pieces that are just super uncontested, like gloves, chest. Uh, I mean, there's belt, like glove, chest, belt. There's leather ones that are just like not no one will use. They're not bis, but they are gonna be 252, and they're really easy for you to get. So
Yeah.
shoulders.
I'm looking at the gloves for like my set that I'm gonna go for is those leather gloves.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people are going for like Ferris gloves, but all the healers, like all the casters, are going for that. So I'm just going for the crit gloves instead, the crit leather ones.
Yep, why not? Crit spirit.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, obviously, I think there's two pairs. They're basically the exact same, but um, one is leather and one is cloth. There's the cloth ones from General Vizak's
Yeah.
that are slightly better, I think.
Yeah, it's
But
just like two or three stat difference between like everything. Yeah. I guess they have the better sockets. Two yellow instead of a yellow blue.
55, 59, yeah, more crit and better sockets, but I mean, honestly, I don't really know who all is going to go for those cloth. I mean, obviously, a lot of people will because, like, like, like we stated earlier, not everyone's going to get Pharaoh's gloves, right? So
Hmm. Yeah, especially because it's from Algalon.
yeah, and God knows when you're going to kill what you're going to kill that.
Yeah.
Ah,
So ring wise, I have like a 10-man ring and a 25, and I've seen that in a lot of places, conductive seal and nebula. But I've also got a couple pieces, like a couple other rings on my list just in case. So it's like frozen loop, I think, not a bad
yep.
ring, and then there's like
They,
pyre light circle,
yep.
pretty
I
good.
mean, obviously, if you need hit on a piece, I think that's the when you talk about the first one was from Hodir, right? The hit haste spell power.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That one's really good, and then also the crit haste Firelight Circle is a 232, I think now. So, I mean,
Yep.
it's not bad. I can tell you that you should not take Firelight Circle from, um, I think your at least your Disc Priest, your um Shadow Priest. There's a couple of classes I think it's just like straight up Bis next phase for too as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Like, um, where we might have a better option. There's a couple classes. I think it's more realistic that we will have like Firelight Circle or that plus Nebula Ban. Everyone can pretty much get Nebula Ban. It's 10-man, right? So
Mm-hmm.
um, most guilds within a couple of weeks, within a month, are going to be killing Agalon every weekend 10-man. So and there's so many good pieces from that boss for casters that
Yeah.
people don't like look at just because 10-man mode. The cloak is still really good. It's spirit haste. I kind of want the Iron Council one, but um, there's the gloves, which are nuts. There's also, well, I guess there's also the cloak from not the spirit haste one. There's the hit crit spell power one that's going to be 245, right? The Drape of the Messenger. So I mean that's really strong for us. Starlight Treads are really strong for us. Pulsar gloves really strong for us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nebula Band, really good for us. There's so many like really good items. They're not BIS, but they're
Yeah.
not. They shouldn't be look past.
Yeah, they're close enough.
Yeah.
And so trinket wise, flare obviously, scales looking
Yeah.
really good, and then there's another one that I talked about with last cares.
I know which one you're gonna talk about. It's but the healing trinket. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
It starts with a P, I think. I'm trying to like go back and look.
Pandora's Plea.
Pandora's Plea. Yeah. What do you think
Yeah.
about Pandora's Plea? Is that going to
I
be
mean,
contested by the healers?
probably. It just depends.
Oh.
I mean, they're gonna want like even if it's not their best, they're probably gonna just want it because they're gonna want it. And why is it just out sim just because it's another like high spell power proc trinket plus it gives us crit, I guess, because the int.
Yeah,
I don't know too much about it, but
it's int. I mean, the int gives a little spell power and the crit too. Yeah. So I think it's like 1% or 1.5% crit or something because it's what 80 something for 1%. So it should be like 1.5 crit and then yeah, the 794 spell power for 10 seconds.
yeah. So I mean, it's really close on par with Dying Curse if you don't if you don't need the hit, then yeah, you get more spell power off of it. Plus like the longer fight, I think, with the more int. Yeah, I mean, and I know you don't like it, but I think Eye of the Broodmother's not that bad either.
Oh,
It's
I forgot
buff,
about that one.
and it's 225 now, I think. So,
Oh, is that the hit one though? Does it
it's
have
the
hit?
crit
Oh
one.
no, crit.
That so far.
Yeah, no. 10-man razor. I mean, I might get it because it's 10-man. We'll see.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I don't think it's that bad. I don't know. It's 87 crit with stacking.
Maybe if I somehow got like a crazy amount of hit and I didn't want to use Dying Curse or something because the hit would just be wasted. Maybe I would use that at that point because I don't know if I'd use that over Sundial. Maybe.
Mm,
The proc from Sundials
I
is
mean,
so nice.
yeah, but I mean, it is static, so I don't know. It just also depends on how it's how the stacks stack. I mean, plus you could pre-stack the trinket on pull by casting Rejuve or whatever, but
Mhm.
or Life Bloom. Don't we have Life Bloom now? Yeah, you can like, I mean, you stack Life Bloom one, two. I mean, you stack Life Bloom pre-pull, and then you eat for a second, and then when the blooms fall off, you get your mana back.
Yeah. Yeah. I always forget about that. The mana back.
Um, so I don't know. I feel like it's a great trinket. It only stacks up to 5 times, right? I think unlike the other one that I don't really like for Boomy,
Illustration.
which is illustration, because that stacks up to 10 times or whatever.
Hmm.
So which is worse for us. But I mean, if you do like 3 life blooms on pool with whatever, and then you pop Starfall plus Moonfire or whatever you do as your opener, I mean, you'll have the 87 crit plus the static spell power. Well, actually, it's more than 87 crit now, right?
Yeah, it was like
Do it.
90 something. 92.
92 crit. That
Mm.
seems pretty good. Yeah, what is it? 92 crit and only 26 spell power. So
Let me log on the PTR here real quick, just to see, because like right now Wowhead doesn't really have like the emblem of conquest, uh, like gear easy to find.
so
But
it's 130. 130 x like static spell power with
mhm.
what's 87 crit? I don't know. It's not that bad, but it's yeah, I don't know. It's not that good either.
Yeah, is there any like big emblem piece that you can think of off the top of your head? Because I was thinking of trying to just get the 2 tier pieces first, the tokens, and then maybe there would be a piece that I would look for after that. But
Um, I mean, yeah, it just depends on what tier pieces are you gonna go, right? That's the big thing, right?
yeah, I think I was going for like helm, shoulders, chest, legs.
And then offset gloves, just because there's a lot of options for us to get the
Those
easy
those leather
252.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I gotta
Makes sense.
I gotta find the vendor. Do you know where the vendor is by chance?
And it should be where all the other vendors are.
Okay. Of
I
course, like
doubt.
I popped in an alliance druid, and I don't really play alliance, so I'm like, I know it's like where the portals are, right? Like above the portals.
Yeah, and you take a
Okay.
right and go up the steps.
Yeah. All right, conquest. Here we go.
I think going tier is best option, probably.
I
It's
mean,
deterministic.
I could do that, or I could go for a nice cheap
Rune orb.
rune orb. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're gonna get 5 emblems per day from the daily heroic.
We're gonna get 5, huh?
Yeah, I think that's what they had said before. I couldn't go back and find where they said 5.
Oh, I think it is if you do the what you call it, heroic plus, right?
Yeah, you do the heroic plus. There's like 2
And you
for the
get 5.
quest, and the boss itself should just drop 3, is what
3.
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good. 5 per day. That's a lot. Yeah. I think. Mm, no, I don't really think there's anything really too good for Boomy off the vendor. There's not like anything absurd. Like I don't think there's trinkets or anything. So
Yeah, there's like some legs, but if you didn't get like wonton spellcaster legs, you could get
yeah, I think
some crit spell power legs.
yeah, but then you're just gonna replace it with tier. So I wouldn't waste
Yeah,
it. It's just a waste. I would
same with
immediately just get your
gloves. Yeah,
your 2 tier pieces.
I think it was the belt was the only one. It's like maybe if you didn't get like a 226 belt, there's a couple belts up there.
True.
I think the neck was kind of meh.
Aren't there gloves too? Or no?
Yeah. There's some leather gloves, but probably using the tier gloves right now. There's some crit spell power and a haste spell power if you want the cloth. Both have spirit.
Yeah, so I mean there are some options that you can get with stuff, but I think once my main doesn't need badges anymore, it's just gonna be funneling rune orbs to my alts to make their pieces. So
Hmm.
I think rune orbs are literally the best option besides tier. Yeah. Plus it just makes you money too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be doing that daily on 2 tunes now at least, just to try
How
to.
much do the rune orbs cost? Aren't they like 18 badges or something? 10 badges?
Yeah,
I don't know.
right now they're 18. So 4 days you get an emblem, or you get an orb.
Yeah, so if you have multiple tunes like I
Daily.
do, 4 tunes, you can literally get 4 rune orbs every 4 days, and so like within the first week you can like make a piece pretty much.
Yeah,
That seems cool.
yeah. And unlike phase one, none of these are BOE except for the ruined orbs, but you can use those to craft a BOE item. So
True. By the way, I noticed. Did you move?
yeah, uh, got a new apartment like a month ago, so I've been here since then. Yeah, and we finally like moved most of the furniture and the bed in yesterday, so now it's kind of like official.
Nice.
uh,
Mm.
all right. We did. I mean, what's it called? The idol. I don't think anybody's come up with a way to make the insect swarm idol good yet.
Worth it?
Yeah, have you heard
Yeah.
anything?
No. I
Okay.
mean, the issue with our dots is like, yeah, I guess the base damage of insect swarm people found out like it just does good damage, but like they don't really scale all that well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They just, because if it did 300 willpower, you'd think would scaled it up pretty well, but evidently not. So.
And profession-wise, I keep getting asked myself, like, am I going to stay tailoring? Or am I going to switch to jewel crafting? And I'm planning on staying tailoring. What have you thought about the professions?
Well, on my, since I was like tank main and boot me off spec, I was jewel crafting.
Yeah.
And then I was suffering and not without using engineering, so I went jewel crafting engineering. But if it was my main, I think personally I like tailoring. Great, jewel crafting is going to be more fluid, I guess. But I think when you get your best parses are gonna be with tailoring. Just because if the stars align, right, the stars align. And also, like, whenever I watched you talk to some other people too, it's just the nature of our class. Literally, you could lose to somebody that literally only pushed Starfire. If he crit 80% of the time, he's gonna beat you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, our class is super weird. Like, I honestly hate our class because when I dig into people's logs and see what they're doing, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, this guy's not using N6 for him. This guy's using N6 for him. This guy's using both dots. This guy's using, and then you just look at the main thing you just look at is, okay, I had 30% crit and he had 70% crit. You're just gonna lose. That's just the nature of how RNG our class is. If you crit more, you win more. So.
Yeah,
and it's a real feel good when you. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that was the meme on the Drew Discord for the first like 2 months of the phase 1. People would be like, "Hey, so I know you guys are saying insect swarm should be kept up like full uptime, but the top patchwork parse only used insect swarm twice. Should we keep it up or should we not?" And like multiple times a day, people were going in there asking like different variations of that question, like just because it's so random. You could make a mistake and still like get a really high parse, and then if somebody looks at it, they're gonna be like, "Wait, why did they pop hyperspeed for solar phase?"
Yeah, it's very strange. I still get chills because I there's nothing more than I hate than going lunar phase and then just you have like 2 non-crits in a row. You just like, there's nothing more enraging. I've never played a DPS class where you just literally want to just flip your desk when you don't crit. Like, I honestly want a weak aura that every time I'm in lunar phase and I don't crit, it makes like a duck squeaky noise, like a wee. Because that's literally what it is. You're like, oh, I'm charging up this big cast. Wiki 2K. No.
Dude, I was yelling on Tuesday because for some reason, multiple boss fights, I would end a lunar phase and then I would get like 8 starfires in a row, not crit, to pop solar. I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
And you're looking at details, and you just see you plummet.
Yeah, my details shows top 4, and I'd be like sitting at 3, like comfortable, and then I would just stop critting, and I just drop down to 4, and then I'm off the list, and then after the fight, I'm scrolling down, and I'm like 10th or 11th on the boss fight. Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, let's see.
It's rough.
That's whenever I did my patchwork. Like, I got a 99, 99 early on patchwork, but like I was holding like 8.3k DPS solid until the last like 10% of patchwork. And then then there's that string of no crit, no crit, no crit, no crit, and you just want to scream. You're just like, wait.
Yeah,
why are you doing this to me?
I actually did scream this week. Usually I just like brush it off and I like laugh it off, but no, this time it was getting to me. Boss after boss, the same thing happened, and I was like, "Yo, this is messed up."
I remember there was one time, well, it was 2 times in the first night where I didn't actually go into lunar phase until after Bloodlust was over.
Yeah.
I was still casting Wrath. I'm like, hello? 60% chance? Where are you? Yeah, it's just the nature of our class. It's so ass, but that's also what makes it fun too. Like, I don't know. I love playing Boomkin. It is my favorite DPS class, but it definitely has some flaws, and the further we go into the game, the better it does feel. The highs are high and the lows are definitely really low playing our class.
So other than Ulduar, there's some like what the daily quest zone opens up. Is there anything from there that I need to look at and see if it's good? Any like items, or I don't even think there's gear from there yet, right?
I personally hate dailies,
Yeah,
and
me
I don't
too.
think I ever did them back in retail, and I don't think I'm gonna do them now. Uh, no, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just did not care enough. My care level is 0 when it comes to anything daily, except for the badges. And I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I mean, I have 5 jewel crafters and like 3 miners, and that's like what 100 gold a piece for like 700 gold plus a day I could make easy, and I don't even do that. So I just can't be bothered. I'm playing. I guess that's why I like Wrath. I've been playing Dragonflight a little bit.
Hmm.
I don't mind it too much. It's okay. But I have both games now where they're both like pretty much raid bloggable. But we're now I joined another guild. I'm gonna be DPSing, and I lead an alt raid for my guild plus my main raid. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of raiding. Finally, getting back in the swing of something that's fun. Because let's be honest, phase 1 of Wrath is snooze. So
It's run a little long for sure.
yeah, I mean it's definitely way better than phase 1 of TBC. I don't care what people say. Like, it
What?
was so awful. Yeah. Well, the awful thing about it was, is you're a 25-man raiding guild. There's only 3 bosses that were 25 man. The rest, the main part of the whole raid experience in phase 1 was Karazhan, and you had to split your raid up into 3 groups, and then that's only 25 people. You still need 5 more people to do the third Kara. So you had to have like your officer core like immediately level another alt, so at least all 3 groups could go. It was just a pain. Like, I love Tin Mans, but I like Tin Mans later in Cataclysm when you can get the same tier loot as 25 man, but you choose to do a Tin Man. I hate when you have to do Tin Mans and it's forced, and it just didn't add up with the size difficulty of 25 mans. You just either 5 people get screwed, or 5 other people have to level an alt real quick, or keep a geared alt to help the other people. It's going to be that way in Old War too, right? Because a lot of guilds are thinking about doing 10 mans before they go into 25 mans to make their lives easier and to spread out the tier, and just have an advantage going in for the 25 hard modes. But that also means that you at least have to have 5 good bench players, or your one group goes ahead of the other groups, and then your 5 alts from the first group go with the third group to help them through.
Yeah, you have a point there. Going from 40 man from classic to the 25 and 10, that was a nightmare.
That definitely sucked.
Now that
Going
I'm
from 40
thinking about
players to
it, yeah.
25?
Mhm.
It's like, oh, sorry guys, I know you were with us for all of Classic, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah, and then you also went from like 50 warrior players in your 40-man raiding guild to, okay, we only need 1 of you or 2 of you in our raiding guild and 25 men.
All right. Anything other phase 2 stuff that you could think of to talk about?
Oh, people need to remember that if you have alts, or if you want to level another boomkin or anything, 10 man Nax will drop 25 Nax gear, and that is really cool. So
Yeah.
easy way to gear doing 10 man Nax. Actually, I think it's easier than the heroic pluses that only drop the 10 man loot. So
Yeah. Especially next Tuesday. Like I haven't made sure, but I'm pretty sure like next Tuesday all that gearing change is gonna go into effect. So we can do Nax 10, I and Obsidian Sanctum, and try to get some 25 man loot like twice next week before Old
True,
War
because I didn't really think about
launches.
it. Like 25 man's still gonna drop 25 man loot, and then 10 man's gonna drop 25 man loot.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a lot of final pieces maybe for your guild. At
Yeah.
least that's two necks, two 25 man necks you can get.
Two torches,
So
like two
true.
turning tides. Yeah.
Yep, that's just really. I think it's really cool that they're doing that. It at least keeps it alive, and then makes it easier for gearing alts. I mean, not for me. I've all my alts are bis, but I don't know. Besides my boomkin, I just didn't feel right taking all the feral gear and taking all the boomkin gear. It just, you know. But I told my guild that's the price you pay. I am not playing cat. If you want me to main tank and I'm gonna, or if I'm gonna off tank and play bear, I'm playing Moonkin as my main. And I mean, no one griped because I was like top 4 DPS. Like, what are you gonna? You're not gonna be mad at me for being top 4 DPS, you know?
Have you played hardcore at all?
Uh, yes, but not this version of the hardcore. Like the last time it was around, I played. Yeah, I
Okay.
got it to like level 40.
It's solid. That's a good
Yeah.
effort.
I mean, I love playing hardcore stuff like Diablo, Path of Exile, all those games. I always play the hardcore variant. It's just you're just on the edge of your seat the whole time. It's just a different feeling when you play. And yeah, I know some people like playing like those games and just logging on, killing some monsters or whatever, and not worrying. But for people like me that super neckbeard, it gives another element to the game of where you have to be super prepared, over prepared to do things. Yeah, like you have to have like good health pots, maxed, you know, uh, bandaging and everything like that. Like before you go do anything, you have to pull slow, precise. You can't just like, you know, bum rush in there. And it's classic, so spawn timers on mobs are jank and everything is jank. It's just really fun and kind of cool.
Yeah, I've been playing. I've been having a blast. I started on classic era and I died dumbly, and then I've been loving it on Wrath, like the Wrath hardcore. It is a lot
Yep,
easier, for sure.
for sure. There's not like level 50 elites in a level 20 zone.
There still was. Oh shoot, messed that up. Hold on, sorry. There was still the one guy in what's it called? Silverpine.
Yeah.
The werewolf dude. He was still there.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about now. The Pat's around, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty scary.
Yeah. I ran by him a couple times. I never aggroed him, but I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're in the forest."
I was actually really sad about the Arena Point debacle thing that happened yesterday.
Oh,
Because
what happened? Dude, half of my face got cut off. I feel like I'm from South Park. Hey, buddy.
Uncle
Oh,
fucker.
there it goes. Whew, that was weird. Yeah.
But yeah, the Arena Point thing really was sad. I mean, I actually played Boomkin in PvP. It's scary. I mean, it's okay, it's good, but it's like I have like 1,000 resilience, and I feel like I'm butter. I still get one shot. It's just so sad. Elemental shamans are just cracked. But I actually play Boomkin so I can get the gear for my feral tank because the pieces are going to be 232 and it's going to be quick, like belt boot bracers, really good pieces for a bear tank right out the gate. Um, so,
I looked at the
but then
PvP gear, but like nothing stood out. I was gonna like grind some the last like 2 weeks or something, get some points, and then maybe buy something. And I was just like, eh,
nah, it's pretty crap.
yeah.
It is. It's just really good for bear tank because the resilience and some like Thorum cheese you can do as a bear. If you stack resilience, then like because his unbalancing strike lowers your crit, immunity or whatever. So, but bears already have crit immunity, and then if they stack resilience on top of that, they get even more crit immunity, so they can cheese that. Kind of cool.
We don't even have a bear tank. We have like a bear off tank, like off tank.
Yeah.
So I don't know
What
what
are
we're
y'all
gonna
running as
do.
your tanks?
Pally. We had been doing Pally DK, like Pally main DK off, and then 2 weeks ago we started having like Pally warrior instead. So the DK could DPS and the warrior can just tank because he was underperforming. Our warrior is like the shittiest warrior in all of Rat. I'm just hoping that he's gonna watch this.
Yeah, I mean, if he's the shittiest warrior of all Wrath, you
Yeah,
ugh,
I gotta give him a
shitty
hard
player
time.
being a tank.
Yeah.
Shitty player being in a tank role. Yeah, don't worry. I give my friend. At the beginning of the expansion, is my friend like because we have like a 10-man friend group that I play Boomkin and a bear tankin off, and then uh he was like, I really want to play warrior, and he got like the insane title on his warrior and stuff, and then now I don't even tank in our 10-man. I just play Boomkin because he does no damage. It's sad. Warriors suck like real bad. It's awful. Like our warrior is like 99 parser across the board, but he's still like, you know, you
Yeah.
can't see him. I'm just above the tanks. It's like it feels like Boomkin last in TBC. To be
Oh
honest, I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie.
Oh
You're
yeah.
like, I'm pumping, I'm getting 99s, and you have to scroll all the way down. Where am I? Oh, right above the tanks.
Like I had 70% crit chance with Starfire. I pumped. 2K DPS.
Oh man, that's so funny.
But we did get a warrior that was like doing some sick cleave damage, which doesn't really look good on the logs, but it looked good on details. Like Faralina, he was pumping some Faralina.
Man, I don't even want to think about it. It makes me mad when I think about it. The person who run logs, I really don't like that person.
Yeah, I was trying
like
to.
Boomkin,
Go ahead.
Boomkins finally get to pump, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know all these ads on all these fights. Yeah, they don't count. Sorry."
Yeah, I was trying to look at their rules for Ulduar, and I don't think they're finalized or anything yet. So it was kind of like, we could do this or we could do this, but I'm feeling like it might be the same kind of thing in Ulduar. Like for example, XT, all those little mechanical ads. There's no way those are going to count. It's only going to be like the boss and maybe like the heart or something. So it's like
Yeah, I don't.
even
There's also the like a mini ad that comes up there, like the mini robot. I think that might count because you actually have to cleave that down and kill it. It's actually like part of the boss fight. The other
yeah.
ones are meh. They're just trash. So I can understand why those don't count. Freya ads, I think they're gonna count. That's literally the fight. Like if those don't count, that's just weird.
I don't know. Because if they count, then you could just let like one player do the DPS, and then theirs might look like really good.
Or you could just stack 3 sets of waves at the same time and just then pump, or super tease. Just like don't even DPS any of the ads, you just wait.
Yeah, just kite them out.
And then wait for the next set, and then pop lust and blow everything up.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's why we get screwed because people are that neckbearded that they just do stupid stuff. Like Globulus slimes. If Globulus slimes counted, there would be some neckbeard out there going, "Yo, taunt the boss for the whole raid.
Yeah,
Spawn
turn the boss.
24 ads so I can blow them out." Yeah, like 25 slimes, Starfall, go.
It's 100 traps. All right, turn. AOE. I know, like I'm excited for like new bosses so that there can be like we're gonna have like one strat going in there week 1, and then by week 2 there's gonna be all these like options that people are gonna come up with in their guilds to like make the boss fights easier. Like I'm stoked for that.
True, but I mean things like Razor Scale too, like the ads. Not if those ads don't count, then it's like, well, I'm not gonna use my fucking Starfall on it. I'm gonna save my Starfall for the boss. I'm not gonna fucking.
Yep, that's what's
like
gonna
auto
happen.
griefing your raid. I don't know. Both any way you look at it, just the classic player base now is just a lot of neckbeards, and they'll do the craziest shit to get the biggest numbers.
I am excited. I don't have to farm what's it called? It's the horde buff that I've been getting for like 20. Is it 23 spell power? I don't even remember what it is. Shoot. It's Scourgebane Infusion. It's like X amount of spell power for undead, and I don't think there's really undead anymore in Ulduar, so I don't have to worry about farming that for a while until ICC rolls back around. But I'm always that guy. I'm trying to get that extra little DPS.
Yeah, I'm definitely not that guy. Unfortunately. My give a damn is just broken. I mean, if I pump and get like, I've never been the person like that super tryhards on trash. I am not popping wild magic potions on trash. I do
Ooh,
not
yeah,
care.
that no.
I always thought that speed clearing meta of World of Warcraft is trash, and I hated it. But when it comes to like bossing, like I'll sapper, I'll do anything for bosses. There was a whole, I have to find it for you. There's a whole meme about trash damage and doing boss damage, like trash damage and parsing. I'll have to ask my friend and I'll send you that video, but it's super funny because that's exactly me. Like I really don't care about anything other than bosses.
I try to do both, dude. I'm pumping trash and boss, dude. I want
What the
people.
heck?
I want people to be like, dude, like I need to try better. This dude's like out DPSing me every single pull, every single fight. Like I gotta do something. Like I want to try to like get people on their game. You know, they're gonna get tired
Yeah.
of seeing me ahead of them. I know they are.
Oh yeah, my raiders got annoyed that I was beating them and I had no 226s and other stuff like that, and I made them feel bad. Like that was my whole goal. It's like, oh yeah, you're letting my offspec beat you, and I don't have a single 226. Man, I should have given that turning tide to somebody else. Yeah. Too bad we can't wear turning tide.
No, I know. I'm glad that there's not like a phase 2 sword that's just like the equivalent of 12 eye levels higher than the mace and daggers are.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's so many items, so many weapons we can get too. So many
Oh
good weapons.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
even from 10 min XT, there's that dagger that's like spirit crit with this 225. Like, well, it's immediate upgrade. You know, it's not the best. There's ice core staff from 10 men Hodir. That thing doesn't have any crit, but a lot of spirit, a lot of 2 sockets, a lot of spell power. I mean, hey.
That's the one with hit on it too, right?
Uh-uh.
No?
Ice core staff is like spirit, spell power,
Spirit
haste.
Okay. I thought there was a staff that had hit on it.
I think it has like 89 haste or something like that. I mean, obviously it's haste, but it's got 2 sockets and a shitload of spell power. I mean, 245 item level. So, I haven't even
Ice core, yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it since the update. Yeah.
Oh, it's intensity. That's
Yeah,
the staff
intensity.
with hit
Ew.
spell power spirit.
No way. Can't pay me to. You cannot pay me to equip that.
I'm guaranteeing you're gonna see a fuck ton of those because it's from Ignis.
Oh my goodness! Ice Core Staff has 106 haste with 626 spell power. Yo, I
Beefy,
mean,
dude.
it's so easy to get though, you know, like 10 man Ulduar. But I want a Swega. If I get it a 10 man item, I want it to be a Swega. So
Yeah, that's like the KT 10-man kind of like feel
yeah,
to it.
it's so good though. I mean, hey. And then you got that the offhand from 10 man as well. Igniter rod,
I
50
got that
crit,
thing.
68 spell power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks pretty
Why
cool.
not? You know, why not? Pretty good.
It was just like a slight upgrade from a curse spine. Like everything was like,
Yeah.
5, 6 stats higher.
And it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, there's a plenty of like good. Oh, the neck from Tin Man, that thing's super good too. I think. Pin to the Shell of Grave, crit haste spell power, socket 24. Why is it 239?
Because it's hard
Oh,
mode.
Yeah, hard mode. It's only weapons are gonna be 245, right? Everything else is gonna be 239. I think.
I think it just
Right.
depends on the boss that drops it. I think. Is it usually
Uh,
like Algalon is higher?
no, I think it's just weapons, right? I think because weapons before were dropped higher item level.
Mm.
Like all weapons in Old War were a higher item level than everything else. So all weapons are gonna be, um, yeah. Like so, you have Guiding Star. It used to be 226, now it's 238. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Or it was 232, and now it's yeah, it was 232. All weapons from 25 man Old War were 232. Now they're 238, 6 item levels higher, and then yeah. So they were already 6 item levels higher than weapons were 6 item levels higher than everything else in the raid, and now they're gonna be even more. Kind
Yeah.
of weird, but whatever. I think it's so funny that our Resto Druid's getting the Valinir first because he's just been in the guild since the beginning of the guild. And he's gonna be using it as a boomkin for the most part because he's gonna be moonkin
That
once.
lucky, lucky Boomy. I know there's gonna be people running around like the first month Boomies, and I'm gonna be super jealous. They're gonna be in Dalaran
Yeah,
with their Valinir, and I'm gonna be like, man.
it's. I mean, he is main resto, but like, if you gotta cut a healer, it's probably gonna be your boot. I mean, and make him DPS. Why would you not just make it the boomy? Because the boomy is really good still.
Yeah, we had a guild vote, and there was only like 3 people on it. Like our pally, I think it was priest and our druid. And I guess the voting ends tonight, so tomorrow we'll
For
figure
what?
out for Valinir for Prio.
If it goes to a priest, your guild should uninstall. It doesn't do anything for them. They just bubble stuff. Unless they're holy.
Let me see. One,
That thing is
two,
dumb good, dude. That thing is dummy good.
yeah.
You know that thing's the same item level as I think normal Lich King drops 258.
It's insane, yeah. I did see that next phase, though, like phase 3, should I say, has a weapon that's a little bit better than Valinir, so I kind of was like, okay, I'm fine with not getting it.
I hate weapons for us next phase. Because there's only one weapon in the entire raid that doesn't get a socket when you do on hard mode, like a Heroic. Yeah, Heroic 25 man, and it's the mace with crit and haste. The one-handed mace. Every other, because basically what they did for the heroic versions is just add sockets and more spell power, obviously, but everything just added a socket. So it had one socket,
Yeah.
it has 2 sockets. If it had 2 sockets, it had 3 sockets. But the mace, no socket. So it automatically is worse than everything else.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, Valinir. It looks so cool. Man.
Oh, yeah.
53 crit, 52 haste, 700 spell power.
It's huge. It looks bigger than it did before.
Yeah.
On 80
I'm
upgrades, at least. The thing is massive now.
I'm taking the staff. I'm not gonna take anything. I want Staff of Endless Winter.
I think just because I'm in a lootless guild, that's only like that takes 1 slot instead of 2. Instead of
Yeah.
trying to get the main hand offhand, so I've been kind of leaning towards the staff myself too.
Well, the only reason I would say staff is first of all, yeah, like you said, it's only one item, so it doesn't count as 2 items, and you don't have to worry about getting it. But also, your upgrade path for later phases, there's a staff from 10 man TOGC, which um it has like 100 and something crit, 100 and something haste, and 3 sockets from 10 man hard mode, and it's just absurd. And then you also have the 25 man Anubricon, like the last boss, Heroic, the chest. There's a staff that is like straight, that's like Staff of Endless Winter on steroids. It's got the same stats, like shit ton of crit. like 175 crit or something like that, 150 crit
Hell yeah.
with a lot of spirit and 2 sockets or 3 sockets. And then also when you go into ICC, there's a staff called Niblung which spawns Valkyries when you do damage, which is really good for Boomy because of Starfall. You can proc like a lot of Valks on pull, and they do big damage. And is it Biss? No, Heroic Lich King weapons are Biss. But the thing about Heroic Lich King is the game's over at that point, right? If you take the staff, Niblung, that's from the second boss on Heroic, so you literally have it for all of progression. And so I just feel like the staff, if you go staff route, you have direct upgrades to staff till the end of the game.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that
obviously main hand offhand is better, but 99% of the time the best main hand is gonna go to a mage or a log.
yeah. Or like a healer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Valinir.
No.
I'm still salty. No.
Oh, true. Dude,
and Torch.
What's so funny What's so funny about Valinir is, have you looked at the like recruitment forums and stuff where you just see enhancement shaman saying enhancement shaman 99 enhancement shaman parsing looking for guild Valinir must be prio?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's disgusting. It's so funny, dude. To look at that. Yeah, totally gonna give it to an enhancement shaman. But yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, I think like most boomies are in a shit situation with their weapon right now. They either have like Wraith Strike, Hammer of the Astral Planes, the other one you had, the Dream one or
Impossible
whatever. Can't
Dream.
remember the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, personally, I think the boomy should probably get Staff of Endless Winter. If your guild is killing like Hodir like week 2, week 3. It's gonna be kind of hard, I think, week 1, unless you did that whole thing, like I said, with the 10 mans and get everyone a shit ton of gear. And it's really hard to get the Hodir one because like I think the first couple weeks is gonna come down to the wire. And I mean, if you don't full raid stop and die immediately, you're just gonna push them over and you're gonna fail it anyway. But I think the staff should go to the boomy. Just because we didn't get a weapon. Most of us didn't get a weapon in P1. Whereas like most of the locks and stuff have Turning Tide or something. And plus they have a lot more options too. They have Fusion Blade from Tin Man. They have obviously the dagger from Heroic Firefighter and Avalon as well. And I don't know. There's also the blade of the Crazy Cat Lady, which is like spirit crit spell power, high spell power, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Crazy Cat Lady.
I can't really get in game right now.
Trying to find her.
The sword.
A sword?
Rune Scribe Blade or something like that.
Sword, okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at Boomy on 80 upgrade, so I wouldn't be able to see the sword. Rip.
Yeah, I keep trying to find her too. I was trying to look, but yeah, it won't show me. But it's called like Rune Scribe Blade, and it's just a big upgrade rate as well too. So I mean, I don't know. It's just like an easy spot that you can show your love for your Boomy, and they'll be happy to hold it for the whole phase. Whereas like your lock, yeah, isn't it an immediate upgrade for your lock? Sure, but like they're gonna want main hand offhand. So
one question I forgot to ask you was like, are any of these pieces with the eye level change, are they gonna carry over for phase 3 and not really get replaced, or there's gonna be only a really small upgrade for phase 3 to replace it with? Like, does Flare, for example, stick around for phase 3?
Flare does. Flare, yes.
Okay.
Well, especially Flare does because back in private servers we used Reign of the Dead and then Heroic Reign of the Dead, but they made it to where they are unique now, so you can't use both. So you're gonna have a second trinket slot open, so it's gonna be Flare. But there is like some spots where I still like scale, like Heroic and Nubercon 25 man. I love scale because the ads like will come well, at that point also our Moonfire dot crits. So there's there's 4 ads plus a noob, and they're all stacked on top of each other. So you like Moonfire everything, pop your Glove Enchant with Scale, and then you get all that like almost 1,000 haste, and then you just pop Hurricane on top of like all 5 ads with your Moonfire dots critting plus Hurricane. It is disgusting. So Flare, or not Flare, but
Scale.
Scale is one of those things that is just you might is used for niche things. Plus, super fast fights. It's also going to pull ahead of a lot of trinkets just because that instant haste, and it's so good with engineering now. Before you couldn't use engineering gloves plus unused trinket at the same time, and now we can. That gives us like on demand almost 1,000 haste, which is disgusting. I think, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, what is scale?
Scale's gonna be
Haste?
457. Yeah.
457, and our gloves are 350, right?
Are they 350?
I don't remember.
340.
340, yeah. So like 900 haste? No, 800 haste? Yeah. Around 800 haste. 800 haste on use. That's disgusting. That's a lot. So
beefy.
yeah. My friend, he couldn't understand why like I destroyed him. Because he's our main boomkin for the guild, my friend. And so I teach him things, but like on the Nubercon, I just ripped him, and he didn't understand why. And it's because on that fight and Fairlina, I started just pre-potting haste potions, since it's just literally like Starfall, Hurricane, Glove Enchant, like on pull. So because you're getting a lot more Hurricane ticks on all the ads while they're up, and I felt like my damage was just way higher on those bosses using a haste potion on pull instead of a crit pot. Because you're not trying to force a lunar at the beginning, so it didn't really matter.
I've only been using wild magic, pre and during.
Yeah.
I'm glued to him, dude. I can't bring myself to use a haste pot. I might in phase 2.
I mean, once we get a absurd amount of crit, like the haste pot is actually gonna be bis on pull as well, especially if you're lusting. So like, but that's the feels bad, and that's also the thing about, like I said, also the high, like you're probably gonna get your best parse ever with using the haste pot over the crit pot, but like we said earlier, it just really doesn't matter. It's like, did you crit more? Like,
Yeah.
Did you get, and also did you 60% RNG your crit, or did you not? Because I mean, if my first cast of Wrath crits and I hit the 60% lottery, and I have the rest of the haste potion up with Lust on my Starfire plus Glove Enchant, I mean, that's the lottery. You win. But
so any other pieces do you think, like the ring, conductive seal, will last for like next phase for a little bit? Or
I didn't really get to see a lot of the, I mean, on private servers I think I still used Nebula Ban.
Nebula?
Yeah, the one from Algalon.
Yeah.
Because there's not many, I can't really remember the rings from that phase. I don't think there's that many good rings from that phase.
Okay.
I really don't remember. I know Nebula Band's cracked, and it's 239, but the other one's 252.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's hard, right? Like, I don't know. I think there's a 258 ring. I don't know.
Okay.
I think overall, conductive seal is probably going to be better, but like I told you, I'm a crit whore, and until I have my crit, I like crit. Like, until I'm crit cap. And I don't even care. Like, is the math going to tell me that the haste is going to be better? Probably, but I don't care. Because what makes me want to punch my computer screen, and what makes me want to flip my desk, is getting non-crits in my lunar cycle. Like that, I hate it. I hate it so much. And not only that, what I hate about it also is like, what I don't remember this actually, like when I played private servers. So say lunar cycle is ending, but you're mid Starfire cast, right? And you get a crit. That will not put you over into solar. When I was on private servers, it did. Which they could have been wrong, right? But it still feels horrible. I think that last cast going in should take you over to solar, but it doesn't. I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't know if it's
I
ever
think I
happened
know
to you,
what you
if you've
mean.
ever
It
noticed it.
I think it just depends on how long was left on the cast for Starfire. Like I feel like there's like a half-second gap where it won't proc it, but after that half second, it does. Because I think I have been seeing like Solar's about to expire. I start casting a Starfire with Solar still up. Solar ends, and then if there's still long enough time left on that cast before it lands, I think it can proc it.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know.
wait, Lunar. While Lunar's still up, and I'm
Yeah.
casting the Starfire. Yeah. Sometimes it'll proc to Solar. Sometimes it won't when it crits.
Yeah. Let's look at phase 5, Lou. Just so I can see that ring that I was talking about. See. From
See, where's the edit? He said from trial or from Ice Crown?
trial.
Trial, okay.
Oh yeah. I don't know where that's. Oh yeah.
Oh, from a noob? Looks like it's 258. The crit spell power spirit with a socket. There's
Uh.
the other two have hit on them.
Trial. Uh,
Lurid
there it is.
manifestation. Is that what you're talking about?
Band of deplorable violence. Yeah. See, I would use this ring. That ring is nuts. And you could use both before, and you can't now. So, I mean, yeah, it's got like 91 spell power, 53 crit with a socket. That one from a noob. And
Mm.
then, but then there's also the other one you could use, maybe, I guess, from trial as well. Or you also have the Rune of the Cantor, which is 251. But I don't know if that's actually. I think that might only come out whenever what you call it's out. But you could get the Heroic Firestorm Ring, which is 80 spell power, 56 hit, 33 crit with a socket as well. 245 versus 252, but it's got crit and not haste, and it's another option. And I don't know how the hit situation is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look at the necks. There's a bunch of necks that come out. Cry of the Valkyr.
Oh yeah, that one. Mm.
Then cloaks. Let me make sure there's no good cloaks. 258 cloak.
There's a
Yeah.
272 cloak too.
Oh yeah, I see that one. Okay. So cloak gets replaced.
Wow, the neck from Pendant of Fiery Havoc from Ulduar is still like near Abyss. Holy heck.
All that hit. That's why.
True. The Valkyr neck is super. Oh my goodness. Yeah. The crit haste spell power. Mm.
Mm,
Yeah. There's just so many good items. But yeah, let's see. That weapon that I was talking about
yeah.
from.
You said it's a staff?
Yeah. Well, there's the one called Enlightenment. It's 245. Is that the heroic one? Yeah. I mean, heroic 10-man staff is 245. Not. So
Illumination.
that Yeah. All right. For a horror, I mean, I'm Alliance, so it's called Enlightenment, I think. But yeah,
Oh.
three sockets with 621 spell power, 117 haste, 122 crit, and
Yeah.
then where's the one from the noob stuff?
Sufferance. Well, that's what it's called for Horde.
True.
Only two sockets, but 701 spell power. And just 137 crit.
Yeah,
A bunch of spirit.
258.
Bunch of int.
But it's
Yeah.
like it's so close to being the other one. The Yeah, so it's kind of dumb. It's so close. Yeah. Yeah.
But then what do we have for main hands?
There's some mace, and that's what I was saying. It just sucks because Trial of the Crusader. There's a
Yeah.
dagger. There's a hit haste spell power dagger, which most of the other people are gonna want. There's also there it is. Misery. It's called Misery Inn for me, but it's got
Yeah.
701 spell power, 66 haste, 44 crit. No socket though.
That's gonna confuse so many people. The different names for Horde and Alliance. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Yeah, that's the really weird spot because it has no socket versus everything else that has a socket. So it just literally becomes worse. And too bad, like I said, too bad. Like our weapons are way better because this weapon, the one that has like the 100 and something crit, the 100 and something haste with the spell power and the 3 sockets, that thing is so good. Like to hit your caps, that was so good to hit like haste cap, crit cap, everything, and then it has 3 sockets on top of it. It was just insane.
Yeah.
But it's already going to be a lower eye level than Staff of Endless Winter, so it's literally not going to be an upgrade for us really. I mean, it's weird because you're losing like 40 spell power, but you're getting 100 and something haste. So, I mean, I personally wouldn't use it, but and that main hand offhand, I don't know. I don't know. The mace is still really good. It's 700 spell power, but it has no spirit, so you're losing spell power there. It has no sockets, so you're losing a lot of spell power there, but you are gaining an offhand.
Yeah, I was just looking at the offhands. There's a bunch that come out in phase 2. So like if you don't get Cosmos, then there's a lot of options, and there's only one, the Talisman of Heedless Sins. That's like a tiny upgrade from Cosmos.
Which one is it? Mine is a cup. It's called Symbol of Transgression, but is it 100 spell power, 57 crit, 57 hit?
Yeah.
But then there's also the other one down here. That's hit haste spell power with a socket. It comes from the same thing. Oh, that's the 10-man one. That's not bad either.
Yeah, but there's like what, 6 between 10 and 25. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
There's so many
six offhands that come out. Crazy.
Yeah. True. So you can get one. So I don't know. Maybe the main hand offhand still wins out, even though it doesn't have a socket. I mean, it's gotta be around the same amount of critish. So it'll be close. But like I said, I just like to stay the staff route because I like going all the way to Niblung and Ice Crown, which doesn't have really any stats on it. It has 837 spell power, like the heroic one, and your harmful spells have a chance to summon a Valkyrie to fight by your side for 30 seconds, and it has 3 sockets, and it just it was really OP. But it might suck.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how it's gonna proc or anything like that. But if it does suck, there's also a dagger from the first boss, Frozen Bone Spike, which is like 50 crit, spirit, socket, 836 spell power. I'd pick that. Or there's other staffs too. I don't know. There's just like when you get to things like Ice Crown, there's just so many options for everything.
I'm ready for a staff. I never got the dog staff from Black Temple. I can't remember what it's called now because I never got it.
Oh, Zardim.
Zardim, yeah. So like I've been
Yeah, I never got
main hand offhanding for as long as I can remember, since like Karazhan at least.
Yeah.
Getting
And I guess
Prince Dagger.
I mean, staffs are just kind of behind in this phase.
Yeah. They get the slightly better enchant, but yeah, you just don't have an offhand, so
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Staff in this winter kind of pumps. It's so good that honestly, like if you didn't get an upgrade in the next phase, it doesn't really even matter. Probably not. it's so close, kind of like, right?
Yeah. I,
Stuff.
I I can't decide. Do I want to play the long game or do I want to play like the short game for loot? It's like, do I want to put flare like super high on my list to make sure that I've got it if it drops, or do I want to put it a little lower and get a couple other pieces instead? I'm struggling. I got a couple days left till I got to turn my list in, but it's stressing me out. It's gonna feel good once I get it turned in. Like that's the thing I've loved about the loot list guild is I turned it in like a couple days before Nax came out, and I haven't had to worry about loot since.
Yeah, I definitely would say, I don't know, personally, Staff of Endless Winter. This is a good, like I said, good progression all the way up. There's a lot of staffs in Icecrown as well,
Mm.
and there's 2 staffs in TOC, or 3 staffs. So, I mean, mm, plus if no one, like, who else is gonna use the mace? Oh, I didn't think about that. Um, Enhancement Shamans probably, right?
Yeah, so
Probably.
I'll have to fight Mincy for it then.
Enhancement Shaman using the main hand. What's the damage? It's a 1.8. If I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Oh. Yeah, I'm just super excited for Old War. I can't wait. I love the raid. It's the super nostalgic raid for me. There's the trifecta raids for me in 3 different expansions. It would be this Old War, Cataclysm was Firelands, and Mop it was Throne of Thunder. They're all made by the same raid team that made Old War, and they're all very nostalgic for me. But Old War started it. Um, and actually, Old War, I mean, this is a good thing and a bad thing for some people, I guess, but is what kind of reinvented how we raid nowadays, right? Like with heroic mode and or mythic difficulty or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, like bosses having new mechanics and whatever on changing difficulties. And the sad thing is I think they had it right the first time. Like I love Old War because super casual guilds can full clear. Yaxrana is still, like I said, hard because all the mechanics that you have to deal with on hard mode are there in normal mode. Like if you can't just do the normal mechanics like brain room, malady, killing people out of tentacles, like you're just not, that is gonna be a hard boss fight for a lot of guilds still.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like a super casual guild can kill it. And then there's also for the more neckbeardy people, there's harder content for them too. It's just it's beautiful. It's one raid. You don't have to over raid. You don't have to do you don't have to do normal mode and heroic mode or ten. You know, you just go in there. Okay, let's push the button and it starts a hard mode. That's cool.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
I never did those before, like back in original. So this is all like pretty much new for me, like brand new. And a little bit of PTR that I did, I had a blast. So I know I'm going to be having fun in there.
Yeah, I mean all
Even
the boss fights,
ICC.
it's new. It's
Yeah.
new, right? Like everything is new. There's not regurgitated like mechanics. It's all new. It's nice.
I am worried about the length that they were saying, that it's going to be longer than Nax, and Nax has been kind of dragging. So hopefully it's like exciting to the point where it lasts 5 or 6 months, however long they're gonna have it.
Uh, yeah, that's scary too. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. I don't know how it's gonna be like 5, 6 months in. That's the issue, right? Like people love it and it's nostalgic, but too much of a good thing is still a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to bash their head against the walls on the same content over and over and over again.
Cool.
And but they made the gear good, so people are gonna go back. And the issue with TOGC is, oh god, I hope it's not out for a long, like I hope it's super short. But it's only like what 5 or 6 bosses or something like that, or like 5 bosses. I don't know, right? It's not many bosses. It's the first boss, Duraxis, faction champs, Valks, Anubricon. Like 5 bosses. So, but there's no trash, there's no nothing. And once the good guilds, I mean, even the mediocre guilds, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna like kill it, and then you're gonna have a whole bunch of raid time left. So people are just gonna go back to Ulduar and probably farm legendary maces. So,
I know it's gonna be shard runs.
yeah.
I'm gonna be like,
Or I mean, like I
okay.
said, also there's still bis items, right? Like the trinkets and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh.
I've continued to do 10 mans all of phase one on both of my, well, one of my tunes, should I say. One tune a week. I've been doing the guild 10 mans. And still enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I'll still be doing 10 mans all throughout phase two. But maybe bump it up to doing both tunes 10 man each week. We'll see. Yeah, dude. And I'm supposed to be playing some hardcore with Mincy here tonight.
Cool.
I'm gonna hop on off for a little bit and then come back a little bit later with him. So thanks for hopping on and answering all my questions. I tried to throw you a couple curveballs and you handled them like a champ.
No problem. Yeah, it's maybe we can talk again once Ulduar is out for a couple weeks and see what the real sweaty neckbeards figure out, because they figure out some weird stuff a couple weeks in. So
yeah, there's gonna be some strategies that are gonna come out that no one would have imagined right now.
yeah, I hope that when you said strategies, you had quotes, finger quotes, because yeah.
Yeah, cheese.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's nice talking to you. I'll
yeah, bro.
talk to you later.
Yeah, thanks. See ya.
Yeah.
All right. I just broke the thing. Let me see. Let me get it back here. So I can say adios. 'Cause you have to see me when I say bye. It's mandatory. See if this actually works. Join voice? No. Turn on camera. Did that work? I gotta pop it out. Pop it out. Boom. How's that look? Do I fit in there? I fit in there. Haha! I'm back. Cool. Mimron strat? Go ahead. What's your Mimron strat? I can hang out for a sec. What's up? Enlighten me on Mimron. Yeah, that was MePlease. He doesn't really like stream or like make videos or anything like that. He's just a super chill dude. So shout out again to MePlease for coming on tonight and giving some more insight on some loot and stuff like that. Potential strategies on bosses. So if you just tuned in recently, he came in at about like 20 minutes into the VOD. So if you're like going back to like catch back up, yeah, it was about 20 minutes in. He hopped in here and helped me out. Bum rush the 10-man Mimron. I like bum rushing. Give me the Zerg strat. I love it. I didn't even see Mimron yet, so I don't even know. We do have double boomy. So if we get the double boomy 10-man, hell yeah. Cool. Alright, bro. I'm out of here. I don't know if I'll stream the hardcore duo with Mincy. I might just chill tonight, but Mincy will probably stream it over on Twitch. So let me get Mincy's link here. Twitch.tv// Mincy. Mincy TTV. Is that what it is? Mincy TV? Mincy _TV. There it is. Boom. He's not live right now, but hopefully he does go live. If he doesn't go live, I might go live for the hardcore. The Wrath tunes, we're duoing it. We're going to get the RFC quest and go into RFC and duo RFC. So I'll see you then. I'll see you next week, hopefully with Grif. If not, I'll be chugging along with either myself or I'll try to find another guest. But yeah, hopefully Grif is back next week. So see ya. Have a great night.